Okay, guys, so I'm going to try and hurry up to get these made. Not hurry up, because I don't want to rush it, but I want to try and make sure I get these May readings out. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is just start working on them ASAP. So today it is Gemini's turn. Let's see what's coming up for Gemini in the month of May. In the love department, what's coming up for Gemini in May? Gemini, May. Okay, we start off with the Page of Cups, Ace of Spheres. Okay, Gemini, what's coming up for Gemini in the month of May? These came out first. 4 of Wands, 7 of Wands, King of Wands. Okay. Gemini, month of May. What's coming up for Gemini in the month of May? Ooh, wow. All right. Let's see. We've got the Ace of Swords, Temperance, 8 of Swords, and Knight of Swords. Wow. That's a lot of swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Strength card. Okay, so you've got, I feel like you're going through a lot this month, Gemini, even though for some of you it'll, at the end of the month, it'll be your birthday. A lot of swords came out, which I'm not a fan of. The good thing is that we did get the Temperance card out, so even if there will be trials, I want to say, you will get through it. Now, I love the fact that we've got the Strength card as the overall energy, because to me, this is very much you stepping into your power. Like, even if you are going to be going through stuff, this is basically fortitude, right? You know how to overcome struggles. You know how to live your life, persevere. You're just not going to allow anything to knock you down. You want to live fully, completely. So it's fantastic. It's about, power, courage, obviously strength. So this is a really good card as the overall energy, because we do have some swords here. So although there will be some conflicts, although there will be some challenges, you're going to do just fine. So we're starting with the Page of Cups, which is already, it's a good start. I would say, for those of you, hey, how are you guys? Thank you so much for joining. For those of you who are in the, this is the Gemini reading. For those of you who are in the space to offer emotions, right? This is a good energy, but it is in this deck. This does represent like the emotions flowing almost wildly. They're strong, but they are a little out of control. So if there is somebody, this could be a Leo that you're interested in, could also be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If this is somebody that you have feelings for, this could also be what the Strength stands for, that the feelings are pretty fucking strong. And it could be motivating you to want a new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles, motivating you to want to offer, a start, wanting to build something with somebody, making it tangible. So here's the thing about aces, right? Each ace represent different types of beginnings, right? So with the Ace of Pentacles, this is something real. This is something, for those of you who are cross-watching Gemini, the Gemini wants to offer something real. Or maybe you, the cross-watcher, want to offer the Gemini something very tangible and real, especially with the 4 of Wands here. So although in this deck, it really does just represent celebrations, happiness. In most decks, hey, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. In most decks, the Four of Wands also represents a home. So this could be somebody wanting to live together. This could be somebody wanting to, they could just say something like, you feel like home, and I want a new beginning with you. I want to, if this is a relationship that maybe went wrong, because we do have temperance. I wouldn't say it has to be, but if you and your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend were having issues, this could be somebody saying, let's move in together, or let's start fresh, because we have two aces here. Either way, if you've been having difficulties with your partner, if you've been having difficulties with your partner, this could have been due to you having to set boundaries and you having to say no. I'm not going to accept this type of behavior. I'm not going to accept this type of treatment, or whatever it was that was happening. This is basically telling you, stand your ground. You did the right thing. Don't back down. Now, we do have the King of Wands here. Yeah. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this means what I think it means. And the reason I'm saying that is because the King of Wands could be somebody that is married. This could be someone that already has a family. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, especially not in this deck. But in most decks, to me, the King of Wands is somebody who is married and they have a family. So if this is you, Gemini, then this could be you looking at somebody else outside of your partnership that you're interested in. Or if this is, I just hesitate to put that because obviously it's not going to apply to all Geminis. So let's put an alternate meaning for those of you who this does not apply to, right? Because that's not going to apply to everybody. So for others, this is you just stepping into leadership. This is you taking the lead. Like I said, if you want to offer something to somebody, then this is you stepping up and saying, hey, this is what I want. This is how I want us to do this. Let's not dilly-dally, right? It's being very decisive, being very sure about what you want. And although with the Four of Wands and the King together, it indicates the Five. There's been conflict, right? Possibly a little bit of a competitive energy. So if this is you and your partner, it depends on who you are as a person, right? Some people like conflict, like the making up and kissing after the fight, and other people don't. Other people find that annoying and stressful. So it just really depends on who you are as a person, Gemini. Some of you are going to say, well, we've had conflicts, but this is okay because that means they care. And other people are going to say, no, they can fuck off because they don't let me have peace. So it just really depends on which type of Gemini you are. But I will tell you this. Whatever new beginning is happening over here with the Ace of Spheres, that's solid, it's grounded. There's also going to be a lot of truth being shared. Especially whenever the Ace of Swords represents clarity, and it shows it without a sheath, right? The sheath is where you put the sword in. The scabbard is the part that you put the sword away. You're putting it in its case to wear it, right? So this one, it doesn't have a sheath or a scabbard, which means it's exposed. Truth is being exposed. Truth is being spoken about, communicated. However, yeah, see, some people are like, no. However, it is pointing downward. So for some of you, and this is just, it's symbolic to me, right? And I'm all about reading symbolism. When the Ace of Swords in other decks is pointing upward, to me, that's a very visible truth. It's like putting it out there, letting people know how you feel about things. When it's pointing downward, this is something that is internal. You will realize the truth about something. You will come to certain conclusions and be like, now I know where I stand with this. Now I know how I feel about it. You might not necessarily be sharing it with everyone. You could share it with people that you trust, but I don't see you putting this out there like a Facebook status or anything like that. But with Temperance card here, I do see some sort of harmony being restored. So if you and your partner, like I said, for those of you who are already in a relationship, if you and your partner have been going through it with the Temperance card, I do see harmony being restored, communication, and this is how I felt. Well, this is how this made me feel, etc., etc. Especially because Temperance is like 2 cups, right? Which is love. And they're coming to an agreement. They're tempering each other. For those of you where this is a new connection, I do believe it might have started off with conflict, maybe misunderstandings. But we also have I forgot to mention that with the 7 of Wands and the King of Wands right next to it, we also have the 8 of Wands, right? Which is being really intense, being really focused, having a lot of drive. So even if there have been issues, it's like this connection is so strong that it's like we can keep working on it. Let's bring harmony into it. However, we do also show up with the 8 of Swords, which I'm not a fan of, because the swords are, especially when they come out, the more swords there are, the more stress, the more tension there is. There's a lot of anxiety and just negative thinking. Especially this card, it represents being trapped, right? Which is why it's like the swords are surrounding her and she's like tied up. Whatever it is that you feel you're trapped by, Gemini, it could be that before you didn't realize it. Before you didn't know where things were going, what was happening, but now you know. And unfortunately, the more you know, the worse the anxiety gets, because then we climb to the 9, which is not great, because the 9 is, it's just fear. It's just plain fear. But it's the fear and anxiety growing to the point of not being able to sleep, tossing and turning, and just not being able to focus on anything. It's really, especially with Gemini, like you guys, you're overthinking, honestly. Let me just put it out there. You're overthinking. You're making this way too, whatever decision you're trying to make, because that's what I feel, because we do have 2 swords here, right? Ace of Swords, Knight of Swords. I feel like you're trying to come to a decision. Whatever decision you're trying to come to, you're driving yourself insane over it. And I just have to put this out there because the King of Wands is here. For those of you where this is stepping outside of your current relationship, it is a very powerful emotion. You want to do something with it, but you're also torn apart by, the decision you have to make. And for those of you where that is not applicable and you know that you're great in your partnership, there's no third party, then this maybe has something to do with taking it to the next level. Maybe there's something about your partnership that you have to make a big decision on, and it's really fucking stressing you out. But we have the Knight of Swords here, which I love, because the Knight of Swords it's finally arriving, especially as the end. The clarity that you received, even if it is bothering you where you're going, what type of decision you're taking, this is being very clear. Your head is completely clear. You're logical and decisive, which is the best. And the 2 of Swords in this deck, the 2 of Swords is about taking a decision and not looking back. That's why it's decisive, right? It's decisive because there's no second guessing. Even if initially, before you make the decision, you're like, oh, I don't know, there's pros and cons. I could do this, I could do that, which Gemini is an expert at looking at both sides, right? The duality. So you've been doing that over and over and over, and it's been driving you insane. And now the time has come to make a fucking decision. So let's go ahead and clarify so that we can have a little bit of clarity on what it is that you are making a decision about. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown to clarify. Let's start with the Strength card, okay? Clarify the Strength card for Gemini. Woo. Okay, I'm going to use this one because I saw it, and then this one because it's popping out. 5 of Cups, 8 of Wands. Clarify Strength card for Gemini. The World card, and see, See, guys, you see what I mean? Let's look at the bottom of the deck. I mean, I'm not laughing at your situation. I'm laughing because I'm right. No, I'm just kidding. I felt it. I felt the energy here. I told you, there's not a lot of cards indicating a third party, but there are a few. So I'm going to keep reading two different scenarios, okay? For those of you where this is a third party, there's somebody you're attracted to outside of your current connection. And you're not just attracted to them, you feel genuine love. You feel a big draw to them. This could have been somebody that you ended communication with. You're like trying to do the right thing, trying to not step outside of your connection. I do feel communication starting up and you deciding that you're going to just end. If you're married, you're going to end your marriage. If you are in a relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, I do see you putting an end to that. And being very clear, communicating to the person that you're with, look, this is where I'm at, being very honest, right? Being very transparent. So, hold on. What if I'm often mistaken? This isn't a mistake. There's no, if this isn't you, then this doesn't apply to you, because this is somebody who knows, like both parties know they're in love, both parties know it's going somewhere. So if this does not apply to you, if that's not you, then that's not you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no. So with the Strength card, that's where that courage is required, because telling somebody, hey, I fell in love with this person, that takes a lot of balls, because you know the stigma that comes with that. You know how your partner's going to react. You know the type of shit that's going to be talked. And so you're just like, I have to do it because I don't want to be, I will say this. I see this as somebody who doesn't want to be a cheater. This is somebody who doesn't want to be messing around on the side. They're like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. I don't want to be like in between two people. So for those of you where this is not that situation, this could have been your partner and you having difficulties with the Five of Cups, maybe breaking up, and then Eight of Wands, communicating again. But I will say the fact that we've got the World card, this is the end of some cycle. So maybe there's no third party and you just decided this relationship, as much as you care about this person, is over and you want to move forward, right? Either way, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of compassion, a lot of understanding. Even if there is communication, I do think that whatever type of communication there is, it's very loving, it's very understanding, okay? Let's clarify Page of Cups. Clarify Page of Cups. There we go. Temperance card again. Ten of Cups. Ooh. King of Cups. And the Chariot. Okay, Gemini. You could have Cancerian energy in your chart because there's a lot of cups. And the Chariot is Cancer energy. So with the Page of Cups, this was, remember I said this is like uncontrollable emotions, which is a Cancer thing, really. So if you do have Cancer in your chart, I should be doing that one next. So go watch that. But with the Temperance card here, this is the second time the Temperance card has come out. Okay? So I feel like whoever it is that you're drawn to, they are your opposite. But that's what makes it work, because it's almost like you guys balance each other out. Whether this is somebody you're in a relationship with or this is somebody that you are drawn to. Either way, there's just this feeling of we feed each other energy. We give to each other. And I do see it growing, because we start as Page of Cups and then we grow to Father of Cups. So there's this increase, exponential increase in emotions, which is what puts you in this place of like, you know what? We've got to do what we got to do. You know, sometimes we just can't keep fighting emotions. That's just what we can't do. So let's look at the Ace of Spheres, because I do see a lot of determination in you. You're like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to go for. And I'm going to stop fighting it. That's why I said that. Let's clarify Ace of Spheres for Gemini. Whew, child, look at this. Oh, boy. I'm telling you, I keep getting this storyline. So we're going to do two, because I know some people are like, my partner's not cheating on me. So it's not about cheating. I feel like this is an emotional connection that they have not brought into physical reality. But here we go, the Fool card. Somebody willing to take a leap of faith after walking away from something. Like, can it be more clear? But I will say this. For those of you who are in a partnership with a Gemini and you're looking at this like, why would they walk away from me? 5 of Pentacles. Air signs, I know, and I'm saying this as an air sign myself, okay? We catch a lot of flack for not being able to, people can't hold our attention. We're called flaky, superficial, all sorts of bullshit. But I will tell you this, air is free-flowing. If it ever gets stagnant, if you ever stop feeding an air sign's mind, or when they're around you, you know, depending on their chart, you're not feeding their mind, it feels almost like a flower that's wilting. They're not being fed. So I don't know. This could apply to several different things. You're not feeding their mind. You're not feeding their soul. You're not feeding their heart. Maybe you're not feeding them, I know it sounds weird, but sexually. Whatever it is, if you are partnered with a Gemini and they are in this circumstance, it's time to go, honey. It's time to go. And you may not like it, but it is what it is. Because Knight of Wands, they're seeking, oh, look at that, 3 of Swords beneath. I'm telling you, they're seeking passion. They're seeking being brought back to life. And whoever it is that's here now has brought them back to life, which is why they're like, I want to make this real. I want to make this tangible. We're going to do what we got to do. Let's clarify 4 of Wands. Clarify 4 of Wands. And honestly, I just want to put this out there. If you are with a Gemini, and this is the situation that's happening, be happy for them. Just let them go. You know, if you really care for somebody and you're not making them happy, don't cling to them. Just let them go. Clarify 4 of Wands for Gemini. Whew. Oh, that's a lot. I'm not taking them all, but I'll take the one on top. We got the Hermit. One more for Gemini. And the Judgment card. Okay. So with the 4 of Wands, I do have 2, Daughter of Pentacles, Daughter of Cups. For some of you, there may be children involved, which is what made the decision so difficult, right? Because it sounds incredibly bad to say, you know, that you're leaving your family for somebody else. When in reality, that's not really what has to happen, especially your children. It's not like if you divorce the parent, you're not divorcing your child. Or if you walk away from a partner, you can continue to co-parent, right? That does not mean that sometimes, and I'm just being honest, because in astrology, you see this sometimes in synastry. Some people are meant to be together just to bring a child into the world. And that's just a contract that they've made. So if there are children in the mix, be very clear with what's going on. Communicate with them. Let them know that they are not at fault for what's happening. You still love them. You still care about them. With the Hermit, they may need some time alone. I will say this. You will have to prepare yourself if you are walking away from a partner and you share children with this person. The energy I'm getting here could be them telling your children terrible things about you. And that's just something you're going to have to deal with. That's just something that you are going to have to trust that your actions as an adult are going to tell your children whether they're true or not. You can't always be sitting there fighting every misconception that somebody's trying to feed your child. You're just going to have to work with integrity, walk forward with your head held high, knowing that you're trying to do the right thing. You're not trying to be in and out of somebody's life. You're going to be consistent with your kids. You're just going to have to trust that. For those of you where there are no children, and this does not apply, thank goodness, I do feel like at home, whoever it is that you live with, whoever it is that's still, you're in a partnership with, you still care for them. We've got the Daughter of Cups, right? You still care. You still find them an attractive person, but it's not the same thing. The Judgment card is 2 tens. It's over. It's over. With the Hermit, there's this sense of isolation from this person. There's this sense of like, we just don't connect anymore. And again, it is what it is. Not everything is meant to last forever. And we have to accept that. So this is, once you take a decision, stand by it. Let's clarify 7 of Wands. Got the 7 of Cups. There we go. There's the ace pointing upwards. You know what I said about that. Clarify 7 of Wands. And there's the 7 of Wands again with the 10 of Wands. Okay, so I feel like the 10 of Wands here is more about you expressing your decision to your family, to the close people to you. So where before, at the beginning of May, I feel like this is when the clarity is going to come through. And then towards middle of May is when you're going to start sharing this information with other people. So 7 of Cups, there is going to be this feeling of, I'm not really sure where to even start. I'm not really sure who I should share this with first. Just trust your intuition. The moment will come where the appropriate person should be told, because I feel like you're trying to avoid the whole, issue that people have when they're like, how could you tell them before you tell me? Fuck that. You're going to tell people when you feel goddamn ready. That's what. So don't sit there feeling guilt about that. You're already going to deal with guilt with other things. That's unnecessary. So be 2 cards twice. Be firm. Stand strong. Know what you want. And don't let people bully you into taking decisions you don't want to take, or into staying in a place where you don't want to stay. Okay? Because with the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like family may say things, because 7 of Wands came up twice, which is about standing in your truth. So family, parents, uncles, aunts, or somebody you see as close to you may start saying things to you like, well, that's irresponsible, that's selfish, that's this, that's that. You're just going to have to trust that you're not doing it with selfish motives. In fact, it's the opposite. You're trying to let this person go so that they can find their own happiness if it's not with you, right? Because that's another point of view that people misunderstand. If you stay with someone just out of obligation and duty, but you don't love them anymore, you're actually blocking that person from finding somebody who genuinely wants to be with them and look at them like they're the sexiest thing ever and they want to spend the rest of their lives with them. You have to trust that that person has their person out there too. Okay? Now, let's look at King of Wands. What's selfish is stopping them from doing that. Clarify King of Wands for Gemini. Got the Daughter of Wands. We've got the Son of Cups. And the Magician. And there's the Son of Wands again. So I feel like this is something, whether you realize or not, you've manifested. If perhaps you were saying something like, man, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that in my partner, or I wish that we could do this together. Whatever it was that you put on your wish list, it manifested. You brought it into reality. And I think that could have been somebody that initially just started out as you would flirt with this person occasionally, you would chat, and things just grew. And now you're kind of like, well, I mean, things just moved fast. And now you're at this place where you're in love and you're struggling to make a decision. But I will tell you this. Things don't happen, like there's coincidence is what I'm trying to say. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Things happen for a reason. And with time, you'll start trusting that. As things develop, you'll start understanding why this person came into your life, why you feel so alive, so electric when you're around them. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords for Gemini. We've got there's the King of Wands again, 3 of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Empress, and 6 of Wands. Okay. Overall energy, Daughter of Cups. I do think that The clarity that's going to come is going to show you that the time you spent with the person you're with now, or the time you spent in a relationship with your current partner, it was well spent, right? Three of Pentacles, you built a good, solid foundation. And maybe there's something about this person that gave you a sense of security, of stability. But now it's time to go. Now you've got to take charge of your own future. You've got to take charge of where you're going, where you're headed, and be a leader. With the Empress, if you really love this person that's coming in, you're also not going to have them as a third party, right? You don't want to have them as a mistress. You don't want to have them as your side chick or your side guy. You want to be with them and stand proudly with them. And acknowledge that the history you have with the person you're with now got you out of a lot of different situations, right? Maybe before you had a rough life, and this person helped you climb out of that. And that could be part of where this struggle's coming from, where you're afraid you're going to come off ungrateful. You're afraid that you're going to come off like you don't care. It's not any of those things, because you can express that. You can make sure and say, hey, I've never forgotten where we were when we started. And I always appreciate everything you've done for me. But you also don't want to stay with someone out of obligation or gratitude, because that's just, honestly. You want to be with someone because you thrive when you're with them, because you love them, because they bring your heart to life and you want to share your life with them. If you stay with someone just because you're grateful, that's just gross. Don't do that. Let's clarify Temperance. Clarify the Temperance card. And if they say things, I'd just be like, okay, well, you have the right to say that. Doesn't mean it's true, but okay. Let's clarify Temperance. Whew. Wow. Jesus. Gemini. Just when I'm saying that the 8 and Ace of Swords makes the 9, here we go. Here's the 9. The 9 is happening because you're trying to stay where you're at. Because all of these things are going through your mind. And I'm just going to go ahead and move forward with the third party story because that keeps coming up. All of these things come through your mind. You're like, no, I've got to stay. I've got to be the loyal person, right? I've got to be committed. I've got to be dedicated. So you're trying to reconcile what your heart feels with what your mind is telling you. Because your mind is like, well, I've invested so many years. Maybe you've been with the person you're with now 7 years or 7 months. Whatever you've invested, there's a lot of investment, right? And every time you invest, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're like, I can't just walk away from this now. It's driving you insane. Look at that. This isn't even, in this deck, it's crazy to me because this isn't even an animal. There's no shape or form. There's literally decay and pieces. And so I feel like you are going through some sort of cognitive dissonance. And if you don't know what cognitive dissonance is, it means that your brain is fighting itself. You've got one side of your brain telling you one thing, the other side of your brain telling you another, and your head might feel like it's going to split. 6 of Pentacles, because you're investing into, the time here is 12:34. For those of you who are into numerology, 1, 2, 3, 4, look it up. But yeah, 6 of Pentacles, you're really struggling because giving to 2 different places of even your mind, of fighting your heart, your everything, it's creating such a battle within you. And you're trying to reconcile because you're like, no, I've got to do this. I've got to do this. You're not going to. It doesn't matter how hard you fight yourself, Gemini. Change is inevitable. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Death card and Tower come out because change is inevitable. And it's not, you can't stop change. The World card is here. It's going to keep going. Let's clarify the 8 of Swords. Clarify 8 of Swords. I just fucking said it. Did I not just say this? I am a fucking genius. I swear to God. Nobody kisses my ass like I do. I said this. You cannot stop this, Gemini. You can't. The universe is stepping in. Look at all these cards of It's over. It's over. What more proof do you want? It's over. You can't stop it. The world is going to keep turning whether we try and lasso it or not. Clarify Eight of Swords for Gemini. I'm fucking done, y'all. I'm fucking done. Look at this. I just said I would not be surprised if the Tower or the Death card come out. And they came out together. They literally were like, here we go, bitch. Here you are. Because I'm telling you, this one was about to come out and I stopped it. You just can't fight change. This is inevitable. I felt that energy of inevitability coming up. And here we go. Here we go. Inevitable. You cannot fight this, goober. It's over. Finito. Done. Okay? Death card is here. So the thing about these two cards is that it's going to feel brutal. Yeah. But you know what? I love the Tower. Because even if the change feels brutal, it's literally because our brain, which is trained to survive, right? It's focused on survival. The primal part of our brain is focused on, this is safe. This is me surviving. So when we're taking out of our comfort zone, our brain is like, starts freaking out because we think we're going to fucking die. No, we're not. We're not going to die. It just is, as a piece of our life may die. A routine, a daily activity may die, but not us. We're going to be fine. You're going to be more than fine. You've got the Nine of Pentacles here. You're going to thrive, Gemini. But right now you're in this space of like, because you're afraid you won't. Just because the change is so massive. So what type of change is the Tower? Let me give you an example. Outside of relationship, Tower change is when we get fired. It's when we move from one place to another. It's like massive change. So when they come out together, yeah, this is massive change that you can't avoid even. But they came out with the Nine of Pentacles. You're gonna be fine. Not only financially, emotionally, spiritually, you're gonna be fine. You just have to trust that you'll be okay. Okay? And I think you do, which is why you get to this place of being decisive. Mother of Cups, you are going to be very in tune with your emotions right now. And the person that you really care about, look at that. You guys are a match, which is why the massive change is worth it. Let's clarify this Knight of Swords for Gemini. The last one, the last card that indicates change is inevitable. There we go. Swear. One more for Knight of Swords. One more. One more card for Knight of Swords. Well, there we go. And there you are again. A whole new beginning, Gemini. The Ace of Pentacles came out twice. It's time. It's just time. Woo, child. You're holding on for dear life, though. You don't want to let go of the current comfortable zone you're in. And here's the last card. Judgment, World, Tower, Death, and now the Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune. What goes up must come down. And what goes down must come up. Change is inevitable. You just have to embrace it. You have to step into this energy of being adventurous and be like, you know what? We'll figure this out. This is an adventure. This may be not something I had planned. This may not be something I ever saw, occurring in my life, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to embrace it because this makes me feel happy. This gets me into this inspirational, motivated energy. And that's where you get all decisive. So, Gemini, It's a big month for you. It's a big month for you, but I'm excited. I think that it's going to be fine. Not I think, I know it's going to be fine. I look forward to feedback from you guys, and I'm going to end the reading here and continue with Cancer. So if y'all want to see me there, I will check you out. Bye, guys. Oh, also, I created a new page called Lunelix. I'm going to try and put that in the title as well. For those of you who want to follow, I am going to be doing updates on where the moon is shifting into and readings for the new moon, full moon, things like that. So if y'all want to join, please make sure you join the page, okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye.